guys, how you doing? Storm Tracker Beating Barry Keystone Prime, and we are actually at the house today. We didn't have to go out because it's already getting us. If you want to see an exterior cam of this house, of what's going on outside that window, go on ahead and go to YouTube and go to Keystone 2. That's Keystone TWO, and we'll show you. Now, I'm going to bring up the radar map here. We're just going to go over some snow squall warnings, excuse me, that are already in play and already going on. First, we'll start out with this little one over here near Cleveland. So this snow squall warning, it's going until, let me pull it here. It's going to go until 11:45 a.m. So you got about 15 minutes left on this. 11:45 a.m. and that's for Geauga County, Cuyahoga County, and Lake County in northeastern Ohio. And we're about to get loud in here. We'll listen to that come in when it is here. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Weather Service.
Snow squall warning. The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has issued a snow squall warning for Columbiana County in east central Ohio.
That's a new one.
Northeastern Jefferson, Ohio County in east central Ohio. Northern Allegheny County in southwestern Pennsylvania. Northwestern Washington County in southwestern Pennsylvania. Armstrong County in west central Pennsylvania. Butler County in west central Pennsylvania. Southern Clarion County in west central Pennsylvania. Western Jefferson, Pennsylvania County in west central Pennsylvania. Beaver County in western Pennsylvania. Southern Lawrence County in western Pennsylvania. Hancock County in northern West Virginia until 12:30 p.m. At 11:29 a.m., a dangerous snow squall was located along a line from 8 miles southeast of Clarion to 10 miles west of Wellsville, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Hazard: intense bursts of heavy snow and gusty winds leading to blowing snow and rapidly falling visibility. Wind gusts greater than 35 miles per hour. Source: Doppler radar and webcams. Impact: travel will become difficult and potentially dangerous within minutes. Locations impacted include McCandless Township, Cranberry, Moon Township, Newcastle, Whitten, Steubenville, Butler, Franklin Park, Salem, East Liverpool, Aliquippa, Beaver Falls,
Jeez, these are long.
Punxsutawney, Winnetka, Clarion, East Palestine, Katanning, Brookville, and Wellsville. This includes the following highways: Parkway North between mile markers 11 and 13. Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 59 and 85. Interstate 79 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 69 and 106. Interstate 376 between mile markers 16 and 52. Pennsylvania Turnpike between mile markers 1 and 40. Slow down.
Okay, so there we go. That's over. Now, let's pull that up. So that's going to be this snow squall warning right here. And we'll zoom in on it a little bit. And here's the reason why they issued this. This area was already under a snow squall warning. This was already in place. We're about to get toned out again for this band that's stretching currently through this location and points further south. I will continue talking through this next one when it punches out. And that's their pre-warning for this back here that's coming from East Liverpool up to about Salem, Ohio, just to the south of Youngstown. And that one, as was mentioned just a second ago, that one is going to be going until 12:30 p.m. That's 12:30 p.m. That was originally on for noon, and now that's on until 12:30 in that area. We got... I want to see if this is a replacement. It does not appear to be a replacement. Another snow squall warning down here for areas from Moundsville over to Barnesville, up through Wheeling to Steubenville, over to Ross Township, Clinton, Monessen, Washington, Cannonsburg, Cecil. So all of these areas encompassing the city of Pittsburgh off to the south and the southwest are going to be under a snow squall warning until noon. Is that noon or noon 15? I don't remember with that one. Let's check it out. Blah, blah. I don't see the until time. I do not see the until time here. Is it in the header? It says for 27 more minutes, so I'd believe it. 27 more minutes there on that snow squall warning down in Allegheny County and points to the south and west. Let's move up here. This is going to be the north central portion of the state here, getting in towards north central Pennsylvania, still in parts of northwest Pennsylvania. And this is going to be expiring in 41 minutes, another snow squall warning. And that's going to be going until 12:15 p.m. That's for Forest, Venango, Clarion, and Jefferson counties in Pennsylvania. That one's moving at 35 miles per hour, as we can see on the radar. This band, actually, they wound up warning the northern portion of the band, so we'll go ahead and pull that one in as well. Expires in 11 minutes. Looks like that's going to be going on until 11:45 a.m. Snow squall warning for McKean County, Warren County. And that is all part of the same line. That is a single line going from about Lafayette and Mount Jewett all the way down to, let's say, Oil City's right about here. So that's going to be what's going on through there. Moving to the east. All of these are moving to the east at somewhere between 25 to 40 miles per hour, depending on which one you get. So just wanted to put the blast out there. Let everybody know what's going on. I've been on the radar. Sorry, the chat hasn't been up. The chat hasn't been up, and I just pulled the chat up. I see there's chat here. ECBST 6. Just a dusting here at Carnegie right now. Yeah, you guys are going to get some of the action coming through here in a second, and if you haven't already, while I've been talking. We need the president's magic weather-changing Sharpie. You know what? I think he might have sold that Sharpie on eBay at some point, because he is a salesman like crazy, isn't he? So I should have bought that at some point. And a partridge in a pear tree. Yeah, the snow squall warnings all through. I mean, this is encompassing almost the entire state, from the northern border of Pennsylvania at New York all the way on down to the southwest right there in Washington County. And that's a nice slice going from, I'd say, about the Kinzua Bridge State Park down to Washington, Cannonsburg area. And it's going to be moving throughout the day. At noon, I see you there. Please bear in mind, I am actually most of the way blind. Odessa, how you doing, bud? Odessa there. Rockaway, Ridgeway, Emporium, old hunting grounds for me. A lot of people hunt it. A lot of people have camps up there. I'm not 100% convinced that there's actually a population up there. It's just like people who have camps. Let me see here. Beer check station, we got one, was in Cinnamahoning. Cinnamahoning. I can say that one. Cinnamahoning. Sykesville VFD always had an awesome pancake and sausage breakfast for whitetail season. A lot of them need to do that again. A dusting in the North Hills. Odessa, you're in the North Hills? I didn't know that. That's awesome. I used to live in the North Hills. Well, just outside of the North Hills. I used to live in Bellevue, right over there by Ross Township. I actually was a fireman in a Ross Township Fire Department, that Fairview Fire Department, Station 250, in that little chunk of Ross Township that might as well be Bellevue. I was the fire police captain there years ago. Camp Freebie, just outside of Driftwood. The guys that built it all worked in the mines and the steel mills. The municipalities, they stole everything for the camp. I've seen that a million times. I have been to camps where you can tell the whole thing was shoplifted from someone's job. Camp Freebie. You know what? You can't argue with that, can you? You can't argue with that. Yeah, I'm literally, guys, I got to tell you, literally, check this out. I'm still in my pajama pants. I have not left the house because it just came straight to me. I got the kid today. He's off school. We're just hanging out around the house, putting out some coverage. I'm looking at it on the TV up here, you know. Yeah, that's my service monitor. That's my feed monitor for right now, is the actual feed on the TV. They paid for exactly two things, the property and the well. It'd be really cool if they figured out a way to steal the electricity, too. Let's see. Here, let me pull the radar back up again. We're going to take a look at what is moving ahead of this entire line, because you can see things being placed. Cold weather advisory expiring tomorrow, and a special weather statement expiring in 3 hours for that same area that you mentioned, EC, up there, Emporium, Cootersport, Shingle House, Bradford, Ridgeway, Brockway, down towards, but not encompassing, Bellefontaine. We're starting to get out to State College territory there. Then another one here. That's going to be a special weather statement that expires in 21 minutes and a cold weather advisory that expires tomorrow, encompassing the area from Brockway down towards Punxsutawney, northern Cambria, getting in towards Ebensburg, Indiana, White, Greensburg, and Burrell, Lower Burrell. And if it encompasses Lower Burrell, you probably got to think about Upper Burrell as well. They're not too terribly far apart. This is the nature of what we have today, guys. This is lots and lots of extremely heavy snow. Let's take a look up here, going towards Buffalo, New York, into Canada. Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, this looks like a better performer, and I actually have composite turned on so you can see it all. Did this get a renewal? No, it's just flashing. Oh, that's a cancellation is what that is. That's a cancellation coming in. I see a good friend of the channel, Logan Estrich, mentioned us on Facebook. Let me see. Cove Fief. I do love me some Cove Fief. I've got my Cove Fief actually right here in the Niagara Falls mug. Solar. See, I have to get an oil change, and I might miss the rest of this heading to Baltimore. Well, if you're in the North Hills, man, be careful. Wait a second. What happened to my radar? There we are. If you're in the North Hills, let me take a look here. North Hills of Pittsburgh. There's Bellevue. There's Ross Township. So, depending on what you consider the North Hills, there's Moon, Ross Township, Indiana Township, McCandless. You could be clear. But realistically, Odessa, if you're headed to Baltimore, you're going to be going right through all of this stuff and then lateral. So, I tell you what. Why don't you get your car taken care of, get that oil change done if it's right down the street from your house, because you should be in the clear right now. But to the south of you is most certainly not. Oh, you're heading to Baltimore tomorrow. I guess that's a whole different story. So keep an eye on the forecast there. But yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to Baltimore today, you're going to get hammered. Let's see. I'm going to pull it up on this device here. Good friend of the channel. Good friend of the channel mentioned us here. I'm trying to pull this up to see what's going on. Okay, I cannot find it. I saw it pop up at the bottom of the screen on my primary laptop there, and then it mysteriously went away. And I can't find anything to do with it. Let me make sure he didn't send me a DM before I go saying stuff. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I'll dig around for that here in a little bit. I will dig around here for that in a little bit here. This is bad. This is so bad. Forget the weather. Ho-hos are on sale at the Shop and Save. 10 for $1. I'm in trouble. 10 for $1. Ho-hos at the Shop and Save. Well, if it's at the Shop and Save, check to make sure they aren't 3 years old. I've had that happen before. Good old Shop and Save. Shop and Sick. And they'll do it to you every time. Stop by the pit, get me a lake trout. PDS lake trout alert. We're going to be on there, and of course, the stream is being brought. Thank you, Streamlabs bot. I'm so glad I have you there to remind me to support our sponsors here at RoamLink by Mobile Must Have. It has everything you need for your mobile RV or off-the-grid lifestyle, and specifically the RoamLink by Mobile Must Have takes the 3 major cellular providers and combines them all under one rock-solid stream for you. Go down less or not at all. RoamLink by Mobile Must Have. That's mobilemusthave.com. Tell them Keystone Prime sent you. Also, our partners here at weatherwise.app, as always, are providing the radar for the show today. Providing the radar for us as I zoom out so that it's not claustrophobic, and let me frame up this whole series of snow squall warnings provided. Weatherwise.app. It's weatherwise.app. Go there. They have the browser for your computer. They have the iOS, Android operating systems. You get 3 with the free tier, and if you upgrade to Plus or Pro, you get 1,000,000 more tools, and you get access to stuff that nobody else has, and you can get a dedicated PC app that interfaces with your phone to put the dot on the map, just like I do. Weatherwise.app. And of course, if you're in Butler, Pennsylvania, this is for our Facebook audience specifically. If you're in Butler, Pennsylvania, stop down at Mercer Street and Newcastle Street. Tani's Pizza, the very best Italian that Butler has to offer. They got salads, they got breadsticks, they got pizza boats, pasta, they got everything you'd think of. I think they got hoagies now. It's excellent pizza joint. If you're up here in Butler, Tani's Pizza, that's 724-841-0066. That is 724-841-0066 today. Okay. So come here and hit up, or here in the south of the city, and they'll see if they'll sponsor you. Butler is too far for us to get pizza. Yeah, if you're in the city, that might be something else. I take it you're in the city of Pittsburgh. You one of the guys that came aboard during the downtown snowstorm where the DPW didn't have any trucks? I remember that. That was the biggest stream I've ever done so far under my own brand. I mean, I've been on Weather Nation, the Weather Channel, Ryan Hall, y'all, all these different places where I got a bunch of views, but that was on their platform. My platform, that's Pittsburgh Snow, has been the first huge one we had. We had bowling alley pizza in Italy, and it was astounding. I bet you it was. I mean, that's kind of like when you go to Philly. You go to Philly, and then you just like making a cheesesteak, and then somebody just hands you the best cheesesteak ever. Carnegie. Yeah, Carnegie there. I used to work, very, very briefly, I worked at an EMS service down there near there. I worked at the Kerwin Heights Fire Department there for like a single day a long time ago. And, that's nearby Carnegie. I think you guys lost your ambulance service a bunch of years ago. I had friends that worked. Yeah, they did. Yeah, because there were friends that worked there once upon a time, and they said they just showed up for work one morning, and the whole place was locked up, and there was no one there, and they went out of business. Always have multiple ways to receive warnings, and this includes the WEA alerts on your wireless phone, NOAA Weather Radio, local and broadcast media outlets, and trusted internet resources like the one you're watching now. Always have a plan. Don't get caught off guard. Oh, yeah. Man. Yeah, forget that the audience is getting bigger and bigger, and they're spreading out further and further. I had people watching from the UK the other day. I had people watching when we were in Cleveland the other night. I think there was one woman that watches a lot. She's in the Netherlands. And she was watching when we were in Emlenton on Thursday. And I'm just happy that so many people all over the world care what the weather's doing in like western Pennsylvania and eastern Ohio. Missed a moment. Liz woke up and came up behind me. Well, she coming up behind you. She wants something, bud. Internet cell, ham radio, yeah. I don't talk about it a lot, but I've got ham radio in all of the Chase vehicles. I've actually got a ham radio sitting in a charger right there, handheld. I was pissed they forced an IP phone on us. I want my copper line. I tell you what, though. I mean, it's a 50-50, man. It's a 50-50 these days. I remember the landline days. I remember the days. Let me tell you how long I've been doing this. I I chased my first storm at the age of 15 on a bicycle, and that was in 1996, before Twister came out in 1996. Old school radios that tunes the TV frequencies. Yeah, I remember those. I remember those. I remember in Richmond when I was growing up, in Richmond, Virginia, a lot of the news stations, one in particular I remember the most, was CBS 6, WTVR, News Channel 6 in Richmond, Virginia, ran their IFB microphones. They ran their IFB input on a broadcast FM radio channel. It was really low in the band. It was somewhere like 87 something, 88 megahertz. And every morning when I'd get up for school, I would turn on my alarm clock and I would tune to that channel way, way, way down in the FM broadcast band, and I would listen to them telling the anchors, like, okay, 3 minutes to air, we're in break, things like that. And it was fascinating. Fascinating. I didn't mean to, but I chased my first storm on a motorcycle, headlight cutting out in the storm like at midnight. Lovely. Lovely. There used to be a guy that did a lot of stuff like that. He chased on dirt bikes and stuff. And by the way, I'll tell you, the guy was a storm chaser. It's kind of weird. There was a guy that used to be on Storm Track with us a long time ago. He was a stuntman, professional stuntman. He was in movies, and he had all of these hustles going on at the same time. And he was like a thrill seeker, and he was a stuntman, and he really wanted to be famous. And he was a storm chaser on the side, and he had all these various projects that he wanted to do research with. And it was, he did some stuff that was kind of fascinating, and then some of the stuff that was just like stunts. He wanted to launch himself into a tornado on a jump ramp and a motorcycle, and he was going all over the plains, and he had one of those old ramp trucks, like those Dodge ramp trucks, and a motorcycle on it. And then he would be like, oh, I'm going to get on my dirt bike and launch into this tornado. And he was never successful with that. Probably lucky for him. But then there was also, if you remember the situation where this guy built this helium-filled, alien-looking balloon, like a craft, to fly around with. And then he said that his little kid, he had like a little boy that got in the balloon, and it floated away, and there was fighter jets like trying to intercept it, and they were circling with helicopters to try to figure out if they could get it down because they didn't want to crash it and kill the kid. And then it came down in a field like gently, and they went in there, and like the kid wasn't in there, and he's like, oh, the kid was hiding in his closet. Those were the same guy. It was the same guy. Yeah, it was the same dude. And I think he went to jail for that. I think he went to jail for causing a public panic or something. It was. He was a very good singer. Okay, I'm going to say that. Very good singer, if you know what I mean. What are the singers? Opera singers. He's a great opera singer. Me. He was a great singer.
Or I'm going to have to say F you.
Get out of here cursing on stream.
Hey, how dare you? That was not very nice of you.
Hey, bro, knock it off.
Oh, how dare you?
Absolutely knock it off, bro. No one wants to hear that. All right, so, yeah, we're, being a parent's hard, by the way. I understand, but you don't put your kid in a balloon or not put them in a balloon and say, so you don't do that. You don't leverage your kid to get famous. It's disgusting. So, let's take a look back here. I'm going to pull this up again. Northernmost, westernmost snow squall warning has been allowed to expire. We still have this one moving through Allegheny, Armstrong, Indiana, surrounding areas. Not Indiana. Armstrong, Allegheny, or Butler, Clarion. That's good for another 7 minutes. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a mesoscale discussion. The snow squall expires in 37 minutes. The mesoscale discussion. There's a mesoscale discussion? You don't say. All right. That's it from 10:50 a.m. That's the discussion they based everything off of earlier. You still got this one up here, another 37 minutes for Ridgeway, Cootersport. New snow squall warning. It'll probably be coming in here in a second. We got a new snow squall warning out to cover. Just give it a second to pop up on the map and the radio.
Bulletin. Snow squall warning. The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has issued a snow squall warning for southeastern Allegheny County in southwestern Pennsylvania, east central Washington County in southwestern Pennsylvania, western Westmoreland County in southwestern Pennsylvania, south central Armstrong County in west central Pennsylvania, southwestern Indiana County in west central Pennsylvania, until 12:45 p.m. At 11:53 a.m., a dangerous snow squall was located along a line from over Murrysville to near East Washington, or along a line from 8 miles northeast of Monroeville to 6 miles east of Washington, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Hazard: intense bursts of heavy snow and gusty winds leading to blowing snow and rapidly falling visibility. Wind gusts greater than 35 miles per hour. Source: Doppler radar and webcams. Impact: travel will become difficult and potentially dangerous within minutes. Locations impacted include Pittsburgh, Penn Hills, Bethel Park, Monroeville, Greensburg, McKeesport, Jeanette, Gastonville, Plum, West Mifflin, Baldwin, Murraysville, Wilkinsburg, Whitehall, South Park Township, Lynn Hall, Jefferson Hills, North Versailles, Swissvale, and Pleasant Hills. This includes the following highways: Interstate 70 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 22 and 29, and between mile markers 50 and 57. Interstate 376 between mile markers 78 and 84. Pennsylvania Turnpike between mile markers 52 and 80. Slow down. Rapid changes in visibility and road conditions are expected with this dangerous snow squall. Be alert for sudden whiteout conditions. There is no safe place on a highway when a snow squall hits. Visibility and traction are immediately lost.
Wait a second, I need more Kofif. Alright. I'm just checking on the Channel 2 stream real quick. I'm going to kick that back over to the forecast loop. I'm going to kick that back over to the forecast loop there. Ask the kid's wife if the seagulls fly over the sea, because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels. Ha! That's a good dad joke. That's a real good dad joke. Yeah, I just had to check on the stream, the second channel. And what I mean by the second channel over on YouTube is Keystone 2. I go live on here for breaking stuff. Stuff like this, the snow squalls, stuff like going out in the field, active chasing, things like that. Kind of figured that I would put a stream that I would actually respond to up on the main channel. On the second channel is a 24/7 Weather Channel style forecast loop. That's all it is, a forecast loop with music. Did you see where they tried to cross a dog with a daisy? They got cauliflower. Oh man. See, the sad part is I grew up in the South and I know a lot of jokes, but I can't tell them in public or I'll be unpersoned. I don't know any jokes that won't get me canceled, come to think of it. That's unfortunate. Is that what that chat block looks like when I'm live? It's got that weird double overlay going on. I guess that would only be on YouTube, but I don't like that. I'm going to take that underlying one away. I'm going to take that underlying one away. And have you asked them what color the bear is yet? The bear. This I gotta hear. Doing a little bit of vaping, a little bit of chilling. I use nicotine on my stream. I don't care. Check back once again. Oh yeah, it's getting more of an elongated look to it. More of an elongated look to it. And it looks like, I bet you this is Logan Estrich. Sarah Carlson, that's Logan Estrich's girlfriend. They're probably together. Right there chasing that band right there. I think the one I'm in's about to expire if it's flashing. It says it expires in 30 minutes, but usually when they start flashing like that, they're about to get canceled. All southern exposure. A bear walks past the house. What color is the bear? Also, then all southern exposure. Every window faces south. A bear walks past the windows. What color is the bear? I couldn't tell you, bro. I couldn't tell you. Meaning I probably couldn't tell you. White, polar bear. The only place you can get an all southern exposure is the North Pole. An all southern exposure. That would make you Santa Claus, would it not? Or Ded Moroz. But I think he lives outside of St. Petersburg, so probably Santa Claus. Yeah. All right. Well, this is through our area there. That's why it's good for kids. That's actually, yeah. That's a pretty good. That's a pretty good one, man. It's a pretty good one. You can just say Santa. It's like an existential joke. That's like a Latvian joke. I do know a few of those, but yeah, that's like a Latvian joke. What color is bear? You are Santa Claus now. You know, that type of thing. Stealth teaches them geometry. Yeah. I forgot how the exposures work, like a long time ago. I was trained at one point, but man, you got your northern exposures, your southern exposures, what they mean in regards to wind. I don't even think I learned that in anything to do with weather. I think I learned that in a building construction class. Yeah, I got a good Latvian joke. So there is man, and he's cleaning house. He's working very hard all day. And a knock comes at the door. A man says, "Who is?" A voice on the other side of the door says, "I am Potato Man. Open the door. I'll give you free potato." He is excited. He opens the door. He is not Potato Man. He is secret police. That's the joke. 4. One to change the light bulb, one to not change the light bulb, one to change the not light bulb, and one to not change the not light bulb. Multi-dimensional thinking. That's why those dudes are like 85 years old and they're doing backflips and karate and shit. Gotta love that. He was arrested for wanting private property. In Soviet Lithuania, secret police potato you! Gotta love it. You gotta love it. You have to. Let's see here. So I have a feeling these are all going to just be allowed to expire. But these up here on the northern end, I think these up here on the northern end are going to be done here in a teensy bit. This one down here might hang on a tiny bit longer, but it's going to be moving out. Now this chonker boy right down here, this one for Westmoreland County, Allegheny County, Indiana County, that's got some energy to it. That's got some energy to it. You see right through here. And it's right on the freezing line. I see that. That's probably going to persist. And look at all the dots all over that. Brandon Ostrowski is out here. Connie Brinker with the Storm Trackers, Pennsylvania Storm Trackers. Chase McKee. Bill Millington. Bill Mill on the Hill in Findlayville. Down there in Findlayville, Pennsylvania. The only man I know that 3 times a year can just point his camera out the break room window at his job and get a tornado. He did that in 2024. And I think he did it one more time in 2025, last year. It was kind of amazing. No, I've seen this joke. I've seen this joke. And I remember it. I memorized it. Some of our younger viewers might not understand. They might not understand the reference. Ronald Reagan was president from 1981 to 1989. He served 2 full terms. He was a conservative Republican, old like neocon conservative Republican. And the Cold War was raging. Russia and all of its local surrounding countries, including the Ukraine, were a part of something called the Soviet Union. It was a massive conglomeration of communist countries that aren't there anymore. So, Ronald Reagan told this joke, and this tells you everything you need to know about how fucked up the Soviet Union was. In the Soviet Union, you could get a car. You could buy a car as a citizen. However, the way it worked was the state would subsidize part of it, and they would build the car through a state-owned company. But you still had to come up with money, even though, it's a communist country. You're not supposed to have money. It's not supposed to need money. But you'd have to go to work, and you'd have to gather up enough money to pay for it. And then once you paid for it, you'd have to give the government the money, and they'd say, we're going to build you a car. There's a backlog. It's going to take 9 years. 9 years it would take to build that car and get it to you. I didn't even see the bot. Like, I didn't get a notification about the bot on my chat. Sorry about that. It would take 9 years to build you your car. And a guy in the Soviet Union, he was a nuclear engineer. He was working hard. He got his money together. He gave it to the government. They said, hey, congratulations on the purchase of your new Lada. Now, you got to wait 9 years, and in 9 years, we'll deliver your new car. And he said, well, what day is that? And I said, what does it matter what day it is? It's in 9 years. And he said, well, I have the plumber coming at 8 a.m. and I want to make sure I don't miss him. That was the joke. That was the joke. Yeah, I do. I've just learned all this crap. Like all of these integrations and all this stuff. I just spent the last few years learning the basics of how to put stuff like this together. And I don't necessarily know how to do that, but, you know. That's true. The funny thing is that Lada outlived the Soviet Union. They're still making Lada today. Lada is still made today. You can buy it in all over Eastern Europe and in China. You can get a Lada imported to China. You might be able to buy them in Australia and New Zealand as well. I'm not 100% sure about that, but maybe. Yeah, they got a few over there. Lada and Gaz and Vaz and all that stuff. That all survived the Soviet Union. I don't know how. Just checking that and make sure I didn't miss that notification. All right, we got 100 messages in the chat today. 100 messages. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, they've been canceling these snow squall warnings in behind as they've been moving through. Expiring them, canceling them. So with the warnings being canceled and moving on, I'm having fun this morning, but I do have things to get to. And, it's going on noon right now. Yeah, noon 10, 12:10, noon 10. I got to get my kid lunch, and I got to eat some lunch and everything else. Thanks for hanging out during the break-in. Thanks for being around. You guys are really great. You know what I mean? Love it that you guys stick around through here. I like bringing everybody this information. So I'm going to go ahead and go off air. Well, let's see. The fake communism led to a different manifestation of the exact same thing. Oligarchy. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Except, here's the funny thing. Oh, we got a new snow squall warning coming in. New snow squall warning. Hang on. We're not done yet. Let's pull it up. Pull that shit up, Jamie.
Bulletin. Snow squall warning. The National Weather Service in Pittsburgh has issued a snow squall warning for southern Mercer County in northwestern Pennsylvania, southwestern Venango County in northwestern Pennsylvania, northwestern Armstrong County in west central Pennsylvania, northern Butler County in west central Pennsylvania, west central Clarion County in west central Pennsylvania, northern Lawrence County in western Pennsylvania, until 1:15 p.m. At 12:10 p.m., a dangerous snow squall was located over New Castle Northwest, or near New Castle, moving east at 35 miles per hour. Hazard: intense bursts of heavy snow and gusty winds leading to blowing snow and rapidly falling visibility. Wind gusts greater than 35 miles per hour. Source: Doppler radar and webcams. Impact: travel will become difficult and potentially dangerous within minutes. Locations impacted include New Castle, Grove City, Slippery Rock, New Wilmington, Oakwood, New Castle Northwest, Pulaski, Harrisville, Plain Grove Township, South New Castle, Inleton, Clintonville, St. Petersburg, West Liberty, Eau Claire, Harlansburg, Kennerville, Barkerville, Foxburg, and Villan. This includes the following highways: Interstate 80 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 14 and 50. Interstate 79 in Pennsylvania between mile markers 105 and 118. Interstate 376 between mile markers 4 and 17. Slow down. Rapid changes in visibility and road conditions are expected with this dangerous snow squall. Be alert for sudden whiteout conditions. There is no safe place on a highway when a snow squall hits. Visibility and traction are immediately lost in whiteout conditions, making it difficult or impossible to slow down and avoid stop vehicles.
You guys down in Carnegie, you guys might have managed to slip through the hole. there was the hole in that line that came through earlier. So, hey, you might have got it. Weather Lab's telling me that snow's approaching. I did notice more to the south of that snow squall warning that was just warned. They're probably going to warn that next for this area again. I've got a webcam up in the window here at the HQ pointing out the front. And like I said, I do have to hop off of here because I got to get the kids something to eat. I got to get something to eat. It's that time of the day. And man, I really appreciate people stopping by, especially UEC. Thanks for stopping by. It's always good to chat, and the chat rolls better. Honestly, the chat rolls better when I'm actually like able to read it. When I'm either you get missed or you get nailed by the funnel. Yeah, usually missed. Yeah. I don't know what it is about thermodynamics in that area, but we get plenty. We do get plenty. So you guys in the South Hills, it's tricky there because you got some mountain passes, you got some things going on down there that usually people say, oh, it's the Allegheny County bubble and all that stuff. I've heard older people in the Pittsburgh region say, oh, we didn't get anything, it's the bubble, bubble. I was standing in the middle of the road at the Highland Park Bridge back in May of 2024, looking at damage caused by a tornado that touched down inside the city of Pittsburgh and moved across the river, right over there by St. Margaret Hospital. So they do happen. But in the South Hills and the region down there and everything, you do have some interesting terrain, which can influence thermodynamics. You're going to be dealing with both upslope and downslope meteorology, which is extremely difficult, and I am by no means a meteorologist. It's just I surmise that that's probably going to be an issue there. And when you talk about winter weather, there's probably also going to be hot and cold pooling in certain areas down through there, where you can always see temperature variances from the surrounding areas, and that's just due to elevation changes. I do remember the tornado that hit Kennywood. I think they upgraded that later. It was originally supposedly just straight line winds. It collapsed that pavilion and killed that woman. I remember because she sued Kennywood and they won. Well, her family did anyway. All right. So, guys, I'm going to tell you, if you want to keep on and you want to keep a look on what's going on around the area, you want to keep getting that forecast, I will break back in if we have anything sufficient enough after we've eaten lunch and gotten a few things taken care of. I would be back should something happen, but 24/7 you can go to Keystone 2. That's youtube.com/@Keystone2 TWO. There's a 24/7 forecast stream, and I will go ahead and turn on a webcam that is pointed out the front window so you can see what's going on when these snows roll through the HQ's area, which is going to be up in Butler, Pennsylvania. Man, it's been crazy. It's been a great little stream here this afternoon. Thanks to everybody for stopping by. Thank you especially EC. And until next time, Storm Chaser Beatty and Barry Keystone Prime, thank you for watching.